Hey everybody, it's Theresa here of Larkin Design, and welcome to the Holly Jolly Holiday Hop. This is a crafty YouTube hop that I'm doing with many other talented ladies, and so I hope that you will check out below the links to the different artists who are participating in the hop. This is the cut file that I am using today from the cut shop. It's called Pretty Poinsettia. And here is the layout that I am working on today. Now, you will also be able to pick up a free cut file as a thank you for participating in our hop and for checking out everyone's work, and I will have that link for you down below. So I am working today in my December Daily Traveler's Notebook, and I am working on a layout for day 3. So I decided that day 3 would be a layout about myself, and it's a layout about kind of just some of my feelings going into this season and where I am. And I wanted to use this cut file here. I have a pocket page in the center of my layout. It's sewn into the notebook, and it measures about 4.5 by 8 inches. So I cut out this cut file using Felicity Jane cardstock from last year, and I cut it so that it was about 8 inches high, and then trimmed a bit of it off so it will fit into my pocket here. And the cardstock that I'm using is red on one side and it's a light pink on the other side, and so I'm using the principle of contrast with that cut file. So when it's on this side, it will contrast with the paper and the photo that's underneath, and when you turn the pocket page, the pink will contrast against this patterned paper. So some of the other products that I'm using in this layout are from the Crepe Paper Merry Days collection. And I just had to use this patterned paper. This has to be one of my all-time favorite pattern papers ever. And what I'm thinking about doing here is creating a space on the left-hand side of my layout for journaling. And then the right-hand side here is going to have another portion of the patterned paper at the bottom and my photo at the top. So I'm trying to figure out here how it's going to work out, and I decide to adhere these 2 pieces down. I just used my tape runner to adhere these down, and then I'm gonna do a little mixed media, and so I need space for journaling on the left hand side of my layout, so I'm going to just use my gesso here. I'm going to pour it just straight on the pattern paper and on the mixed media background here, and I'm using a really rough textured brush to create the background for the journaling. And so what happens here is it allows the pattern paper to show at the top, and then it also allows for some of it to show a little bit underneath the writing, but you'll still be able to read my handwriting. And then once that dried, I flipped the pocket page and applied the gesso to the other side as well, and the gesso on this side will be sort of the home base for the title of the layout. It actually, what I had in mind actually worked out a little bit better on the right hand side, but that's okay. Roll with it. Be okay with the outcome however it comes out when you're using mixed media, and just roll with it. And so at this stage everything is dry. I did use a heat gun just to set all this gesso and make sure that it was completely dry. And then I added my photo, and I wanted to use this swan here. And so that's not something that I would ordinarily use in my layouts, but I thought it's really pretty, and so why not? So I am going to add a couple of more tiny pieces with the swan, just so that she's not standing there alone, I guess. So I decided on this little ho 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 stamp, and I'm also going to adhere this little tiny snowflake. Here we go. And I'm putting that on top. So this is a cluster of three items here. And then I love, of course, these gold puffy stickers and titles. And so I'm going to add my title here using the holiday love words and one of the gold puffy hearts. And so this layout really is all about loving myself and being open and accepting to where I am right now in my journey in life, and really affirming that. So the poinsettia cut file here is a perfect home base for the number, for the day number. And I added the little cloche puffy sticker, and then I'm adding the number here using some Paisley Press numbers from Ali Edwards. I think that they were in the Paisley Press mini kit from 2017. And then I added a little bow at the top of the cloche as well. And that's a great little way to incorporate my number here into this layout and make that cut file functional in the layout as well. So I want to add a little title here at the top of my page, and then I'm going to use the lines from this wooden block stamp to stamp lines with, and then add my journaling. And so if you'd like to know what I wrote for my journaling, it is as follows. This season, I feel I am entering much more self-aware and deeply mindful of my story. My experiences have shaped me in some incredibly profound ways, and for the first time ever, I am giving myself the time, space, and even forgiveness I so desperately need. I can already tell a difference in how I am dealing with the stuff in my life, and I feel peace here. And so that is my journaling. And I also here am going to add this little holly leaf onto the back of the cut file. So it felt a little empty on the back, and this is a fun way to just add a little something. It's a chipboard piece from the Merry Days chipboard sheets, and I'm going to I usually take some of the backing off of those chipboard pieces so they're not quite as thick, and then I'm going to adhere it using red line tape. And so anytime that I'm adhering something outside of the page protector, I like to use red line tape for that, and that usually keeps it pretty well sealed. I don't think I've had anything fall off quite yet. So at this point, I'm going to write my journaling here, and I'm just using a normal everyday pen. I use these Uniball pens every day. They're absolutely my favorite. And they're not necessarily acid-free or whatever, but it's okay. It's okay to not use everything acid-free sometimes. And so I hope that this gives you some inspiration for documenting yourself and documenting your own feelings going into this holiday season. It can definitely be overwhelming. It can be very difficult for some people going into December. And it's always good to check in with yourself. Check in with yourself and acknowledge where you are, acknowledge where your struggles are, and then find a way to seek joy in all of this craziness and in all of this chaos and all of the mess. You know, life is so messy, but it's also really beautiful. And if we check in with ourselves, then we can be in a healthy mindset. So I hope that you will check out the other amazing ladies who are participating in this hop today. Thank you for joining us. Make sure to grab your free cut file that Ashley Horton has created with the Cut Shop. And I will see you back here again very soon with more December daily layouts and documenting December in a traveler's notebook. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.